Hi guys, so I've just picked up a Warhammer 40k Space Marine because this is for a painting competition I'm going to be entering. So yeah, I've got this little guy. He's on sprues. Just need to cut him off, obviously clean him up, and then we'll crack on and paint him. Although I've got a feeling what I've done with this Space Marine might get me disqualified from the competition. So stick around to see why I think that's going to be true. So, guys, if you want to enter this competition, there is time because it's actually running from the 1st of August to the 31st of August. I will leave a link down below to where you can obviously find out more information. Obviously, you need to be in the UK and preferably in Hampshire because that's where obviously this is kind of taking place. So, the painting competition is being held by Brick and Battle, or Brick and Battle even. Got to get my teeth put in properly. And this is by Iconic Bricks. So, they do sell a whole variety of Warhammer stuff. But if, like me, you also love Lego, then yeah, definitely pop down there because say this is where you have to pop into the store. You get the miniature is free, and then all you need to do is take some pictures of it to enter the competition. So real nice and easy. Yeah, free to enter, free little miniature. What could be better? So I've cut my miniature off, and now I need to obviously do a little bit of cleaning up. Not too much on this chap. And this is mainly where we cut it off the sprue. Sometimes there's little bits left over. So just taking the blade and carefully sort of scraping any little bits that shouldn't be there off. Obviously, be careful with blades because they are sharp, they are pointy. And I must admit, I've had this channel for 6 years, and yeah, I've cut myself quite a bit. Because obviously, there's always a saying that when you're using one of these sort of blades, always cut away from yourself. Sometimes it's difficult doing that, and you do end up cutting yourself. So this miniature, he's one of these push fit ones, but obviously you have to put them in a certain order sometimes. As in, you can see his head also has a little connector, so his head needs to go in first before sort of pushing the body parts together. So you don't need to use glue with these, although typically I do still like to glue mine just in case. I mean, the chances of these coming apart is probably slim to none because they are a nice sort of snug fit. Again, I like using the cement glue, just gives it a good bond, and then when you do squeeze it together, it does sort of get rid of any kind of lines that go through it. So just checking the other little bits. Say it's easier to sort of clean these up prior to putting them together. That being said, even when I do that, I still put them together and I still find bits I've missed and I need to clean up. So this chap does have his feet already attached to the base, which is a bit of a shame because I would have liked to have swapped the base out for something different. Again, you'll see why I think I'm going to get disqualified from this competition coming up very soon. Because yeah, I don't typically paint Space Marines. I am more of an orc guy. So I want to change a few bits on this, and that is the arms. So I've got a whole variety of left arms and right arms Space Marines. So even though I don't paint these much, I do seem to have a lot of Space Marines, which is really weird. So yeah, so I'm going to change the arms because there's a different sort of pose I want this chap to have. Uh, and I say I don't need to paint Space Marines much, but I've always wanted to paint one up like Buzz Lightyear. Yep, this chap here, because he looks probably is a Space Marine. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to paint my guy like Buzz Lightyear. That's not the bit that I think is going to get me disqualified. I'll show you in a second. So yes, I've got a nice left arm and a right arm. And the good thing with the arms that I've got, they don't have the big pauldrons on them. Because obviously Buzz Lightyear doesn't really have like huge big shoulder bits on him. So this is a case of cutting off these little pegs that were sticking out for the arms. Because obviously the arms I've got aren't the push fit ones. They're ones you need to glue on. So I just need to make these nice and flat. So it'll be nice and flush so I can put my arms on. So obviously I've gone with this arm because obviously it's got the little thing in the arm that pops up, and obviously you can tap into it and call control, which is very similar to the Buzz Lightyear one. So I mean that looks pretty cool. And then obviously the other arm, I am going with a little blaster. It looks pretty cool, but obviously I want to I want to change the blaster. Obviously, I've got a 3D printer, so I can 3D print bits and pieces. I've had a little look, and Buzz Lightyear has, well, he has a different kind of gun. That's exactly what I am going to attach to this dude. So yeah, he's pretty much all ready, apart from say the gun I'm going to swap out in a minute. I've got him on my little painting handle there, and this is the little ray gun that I've 3D printed. I did print out several in different sizes. So I wasn't too sure which one would look best, but this one looks pretty cool. So it is a case of then cutting off the blaster. And as I say, this is why I think I might get disqualified from the competition, because this chap now isn't going to be 100% GW. It's going to be like 99.9% GW and then a little bit of a 3D printed bit. But the thing is, though, I've always wanted to paint a Space Marine like Buzz, and this seemed like the ideal opportunity to do this, even if it does get me disqualified from the competition. So, guys, this competition today does go up until the 31st of August. So, if you are in the Hampshire area of the UK, yeah, pop down and pick up your free miniature to enter the competition. So painting wise, as you can see, I primed it in white because he primarily is white. So I think I've already painted about 80% of this miniature in in a matter of seconds. Yeah, so painting this dude isn't going to take too long. It is pretty simple. There's no real skill at all to this, other than, well, staying within the lines, I guess. And I say, I've been wanting to do this for ages. So I'm not the first person to do this. You go on Pinterest or just go online anywhere, you'll see loads of people have painted Space Marines like Buzz. But this is obviously my first time of doing this. As I had a lot of fun doing it. So even if this doesn't get me into the competition properly, I've enjoyed myself. And that's the main thing. So I've tried to pick colours similar to the ones that obviously he is. But the problem is when you look online, the purple, the colour on him, it varies from photo to photo. Some of them are a dark purple, some of them are a lighter one. So I've just gone for a nice vibrant one that I've got. I say there's obviously not, there really isn't much to paint on this dude. So that's why there's a few bits here, like these little, his gun holder and the other little sort of pouches he's got. Rather than painting them brown, there's not really brown on Buzz Lightyear, so I've gone with the purple on those items as well, just to sort of, well, paint a few more bits. So his head, I did consider 3D printing Buzz's head out. But I thought, no, I don't want to. I don't want to change too much on this. I want it to be pretty much a Space Marine, just with the added gun, just because I think the little blaster gun he's got here does look pretty cool. So yeah, painting this head, I was almost thinking about 3D printing the see-through clear helmet bit, but because it's going to be so small, yeah, I thought it might be a bit too fiddly, so I didn't bother with that. This is what I mean by his shoulders, and I'm glad that he hasn't got the already built-in huge big shoulder pads. So these shoulders are quite nice and well, look like Buzz's ones. So basically, just going to paint them grey, and then once that's dried, then go over and do these sort of the black line with this. Say not too many colours in this at all. So say other than white, I mean white is the primary colour here, and obviously I've done that just by priming the thing. So yeah, pretty much done. Added obviously some black bit to the center. His chest plate, I did more green on it. And then obviously the inner wings, I've just done gray. And I'm going to paint the skull that's in the center red, because obviously on Buzz's chest, he does have a big red button. Presumably it's the one that you push that makes him talk. So I'm going to paint that red. A few of the little buttons on his arm sort of thingy, I do them red. And a bit of his backpack, I think I do red. Again, just try and add a little bit more color to this. Otherwise, it really is going to be just vibrant white. So I think even if I didn't change his gun, yeah, I wasn't going to win the painting competition anyway. I just wanted to take part just for the fun of it. And as I say, you got a free miniature, so head on down there, guys. Get your free miniature. And yeah, and if you want, because it's not too far from me, if you did want to meet up, I don't know why you'd want to meet up, but if you did want to meet up and you were going down there, let me know. And maybe I can just pop down and sort of say hi. So his face, yeah, I'm not going to paint the eyes. I can't do eyes for Toffee, so I'm just going to paint in pink and leave it at that. Normally I would do a bit of a wash over it, but obviously this needs to be nice and vibrant. And there we go. So I've got a nice little backdrop on my computer screen, just to make him look like he is in Toy Story. So very simply painted. I had fun. I've always wanted to do a Buzz Lightyear. And yeah, here we go. This is my entry into the Brick and Battle painting competition, which I think I'm going to get disqualified for because I've changed the gun out and the arms. But I don't care. I had fun. That's exactly what this hobby is meant to be about. So yeah, guys, don't forget to check out the link below. Especially as I say, if you're interested in Lego as well, because they have an absolute shed load of Lego, because they actually make or started off by making huge, big Lego pieces, like display pieces, and then obviously they've turned it into a shop, and now they're doing the Warhammer stuff and all the rest of it, which is just absolutely awesome because they're on my doorstep, which is great. Okay, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that fun stuff. And yeah, maybe I'll see you down at Iconic Bricks when you go down and pick up your free miniature. Okay, guys, I'm going to go now because I'm going to start waffling and we'll be here for another 10 minutes. Okay, guys, you'll take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.